Hello heroes and villains, welcome to Multiverse. A question that often comes back is how can you get your lair? And there's also probably 1,000 questions about the lair system, so we will try to answer some of that today. So today we will take a look at how to get your lair. So here you can see we have a level 9 mission. Home is where your base is. At this point, although my character is level 14, but I got that mission some time ago. So roughly around level 9, you should get this mission. So let us complete it. So if we go into our inventory, so we got our first two Lair. Everyone should get the Gothic Lair and the Deco Lair.
Good. Now that you have a theme for your base, you need to get a deed. These are used to actually grant base ownership and to select a location for the entrance.
So once Oracle gave us our little message, you can see we can complete the Homestead mission, and it is going to give us a little deed, so let us complete that. So here we have the little hint about the bases. So if we go into our inventory, we will see we will have our deed in our inventory. But also, if you did purchase some base items, or even some lair themes from the marketplace, now would be a good time to redeem them. So as you saw, you go to the marketplace, you go to the redeem tab, and then you'll see all the items that you can claim that you have purchased in this universe online. Like in this case, I have the portable workstation. Let us redeem that. At this point, I pretty much purchased all the lairs. Basically, whenever a lair would be on sale in the marketplace, I would just purchase it at some point. So in the long run, I pretty much purchased all the lairs. And also you can purchase the amenities for your lair from the marketplace. You can get those for free in the game if you collect a whole bunch of collections. I have a video about each amenity, how to get them using collections. I'll put the link to those videos in the description down below. But I have a lot of characters. So the most convenient way to be able to get those is to just purchase them from the marketplace. Once you purchase them from the marketplace, you can redeem them for every single characters in your account. And there's one amenity, the teleporter, that you have no choice, you have to buy it from the marketplace. And at some point they added some of the bigger lair, like the Brainiac lair, so let us redeem that. And the Atlantean lair. So here we have all the different lair I own, so let us consume them. So sadly, the only way you can really get those lairs is to buy them from the marketplace. You could purchase them from the loyalty vendor if you have loyalty points. And for the amenities, again, you can either purchase them or you can get them using various collections. So now that we've unlocked all the lairs we have access to, let us use our deed. From here I should be able to show you a quick preview of each lair. So here we have the Tech Lair, the Ancient Lair, the Sewer Lair, the Eastern Lair, the Gothic Lair, the Bunker Lair, the Deco Lair. So the Gothic Lair and the Deco Lair are the two lairs you are given by default. Although if you are a free-to-play player, you will have access to the Dive Lair. We'll take a look at that in just a minute. So again, the Cave Lair, the Penthouse Lair, the Industrial Lair, the Brainiac Lair, and the Atlantean Lair. This being our friend Nightwing, let us use the Cave Lair. And again, once you choose your lair, then you have to choose where you put the lair in Metropolis or in Gotham City. So let's go for Gotham. And depending on where you position your lair, some locations, like in most cases, you can see it'll cost 5 cash. But there are some instances where it might be a bit more pricey, or I guess not. Oh, there we go. So here, in order to be able to get the lair in the Arkham Asylum Cavern, you'll need to spend 25 source marks and 3,250 cash. And sadly, if you don't have that much cash at this point, you'll have no choice but to take one of the cheaper lair. Let's go over here. Let's say okay.
This is your mainframe, the nerve center of your lair. You can use it to gain access to powerful tools like orbital strikes, backup reinforcements, and powerful equipment mods. Your mainframe's power is maintained here as well, so be sure to keep it up so you can have access to more powerful features. This is your dispenser, where you'll retrieve the items that you've selected in the mainframe, such as communicators for your backup and orbital strikes. Finally, this is your base's control panel. It's used to enter decoration mode, alter some of the colors of your base, and for other utility purposes.
So before we get started, let's take a quick look at the dispenser here. So you can see we have the dive hideout. So let us go like that. If you are a free-to-play player, odds are this is the lair that you have access to at this point. If you are a legendary player, again, you have access to the Gothic lair and the Deco lair. But if you do purchase lairs from the marketplace, then it'll give you access to even more lairs. So let us consume the hideout. If you need to change your lair for whatever reasons, you can come to this little panel and you can click on relocate base. So it gives you a warning that it will kick everyone out. And also if you change your lair location, it will pretty much reset your lair. So everything every base item you've placed in your lair will pretty much be removed and you'll have to place them again. So here you can see the dive. This is the lair that the free-to-play player have access to. And again, you have to position it in Gotham or in Metropolis. So this little panel is pretty much where you control your lair. So if you want to decorate your lair, you go into decoration mode. And here we could start by placing our amenities. Now let's put the sorter vendor here. I used to put my mailbox here, but so here we're going to put our teleporter. And again, sadly, in order to be able to get the teleporter, you have no choice. You have to either buy it from the marketplace, or you have to buy it from the loyalty vendors. Now let's put our crafting station here. Our bank. Our broker. Ideally, I try to have the mailbox close to the broker. It makes it more convenient when you buy and sell stuff to just move from the broker to the bank to the mailbox if they're right next to each other, but you don't have to do that. Here we'll put a little sparring target. Let's put our respec station here. And let's put our R&D vendor here. So you can see we've placed 9 out of 10 amenities. We could place one more amenity. Sadly, we only have 9 amenities at this point. Unless you have, if you have some amenities that you've collected using collections, you could have like 2 sparring targets or 2 broker or 2 R&D vendor, depending on the collections you've gathered. So you can place up to 10 amenities, but in reality, we only have 9 amenities. And you can see also there's that little thing that says markers to unlock free placement mode. Sadly, at this point, in order to be able to place items, you have to place them in those little circles. Amenities, you have no choice. You have to put the amenities within the pink circles. And other base items, you have to put them into the blue circles. Although once you place 20 base items in your lair, then you will unlock the free placement mode, and then you will be able to put the items that you can put in the blue circles. You're going to be able to put them anywhere. It'll make a bit more sense a bit later. And also you can see the armories placed 0 out of 16. You can have up to 16 armories for each character. And you could decide to put all those armories within one base, or you could decide to put them into multiple bases, but you have a maximum of 16 armories, and you can put a maximum of 16 armories in one lair. We'll talk a bit later about armories. So here we have Home Sweet Home. Let us complete that. So it gave us our first 3 base items. So we have a little lamp here, a little table here, and a little dinner clock. So let's go back to our panel.
The base items to your base inventory, use the control panel to enter decorator mode.
So let me show you. So you can put the clock here, but if you try to put it here,
in decorator mode, you can place your items at the appropriate markers. While most base items are cosmetic, there are amenities you can acquire that have very specific specific functions like bank, mail, and broker access. However, amenities can only be placed at specific markers. Once you've filled up enough markers, you will unlock free placement mode and be able to place base items almost anywhere. So, that about wraps it up. I'm sure you'll uncover even more interesting things about your base. Good luck. And don't forget to try placing those items. Oracle out.
So as you can see, when we place our clock, we get 10 out of 20 placement. Free placement items. So here we should be 11 out of 20. And let's put that here. So again, if we go outside of the circles, we cannot place this item just yet. We need to unlock free placement mode in order to be able to do that. So once we manage to put 20 base items in our lair, then we are going to be able to put our items anywhere in our base. And if we come back to our whole panel here, so you can see we have a few options. Enter decoration mode, relocate base items, rename base. You can give a base to your lair. In this case, I have a lot of layers, so usually what I'll do is that I'll put a G before the name or an M to know if my base is in Gotham or Metropolis. It may seem self-evident, but once you have a lot of layers, it's not that evident. Let's call it Nightbird. Actually, let's call it Night Robin. That's what I would have called the character. I used to have a Night Robin eons ago, but I guess someone else took the name now. So let's click on done. Okay. So we changed the name of our base. And also we could put if we wanted to, we could click pick up base items. It picks up every items in your base and then you have to place them again. And if we go back into decoration mode, so from here there's a few things we can do. If we press on L1, it will give us a little menu. First, we can customize some of the color in our base. Let's change the black for something else. Let's go for red. So you can see it changes the color of our layer at least a little bit. And if we go to emblem, at this point we don't have any emblem we could place. Let's try to get an emblem we can place. I have the Batman versus Superman emblem, so we are going to redeem those. But we are going to use the Batman 80th Anniversary emblem. Sadly, it's an emblem that is no longer available in the game. But if you've already purchased the emblem in the marketplace, then you can redeem it on every single characters on your account. So let us do that. So that should give us a few emblems we can use with our friend Nightwing. So let's consume them. Not sure why there's a bit of lag in the menu. It happens. So if we go back to our panel, so if we go back to the emblem, so we have the Batman's 80th Anniversary emblem. So let us select that. The emblem is color locked, so in this case we cannot change the color of the emblem, but there are some emblems where you could actually tweak the colors of the emblem if you wanted to. So let us save that and let's exit. So now we have the Batman emblem on the panel, and there's a few items like there's some decorating drapes. I forget the name. Tide hanging decorating drapes that you can have that would have the emblem of your lair. So whatever emblem you select here, if you have the tide hanging decorative drapes, you would see that emblem on those drapes as well. Not sure why they did not make any more base items like that where you can have the emblem. Oh well. So let us go back to our journal. So I love lamp. We've placed the base items we had, so let's complete that. And now we're going to be able to place our first armory. So let us complete that. So we do get one armory for free. Sadly, if you want to have any more armories after that, you have to purchase them. And you have to purchase armories for every single characters. So for now, let's put it, let's see if we can put it here. There we go. So if you want to be able to use your armory properly, in theory, you need at least 2 armories so that you can switch back and forth between armories. Obviously, you can still use it even if you have only the 1 armory, but it's not quite the same. So if we go back to our journal, we probably have another step to do. So the next step would be lock and load. So place your armory in your base and use it to imprint a new build. So let us do that right now. So in this case, all we can do is imprint. But then eventually we get more options. We could imprint all, we can imprint only the appearance, only the traits and loadout, only the equipment, or only the title. And the same when we want to activate it. We could give a name to our armory. Here, let's call it DPS. Usually I'll go for something simple. I'll call one armory DPS, the other armory, in this case it would be controller or troll. PvP would be another option. And then we could put a little icon. For DPS, I kind of look to use this one. So you can see the name. If you look into imprinted build, you can see the name DPS. There's no title. The power is gadget, dual wield, damage, and then you have the little emblem. And once you do that, if you press on L2 and R2, it will give you a little menu where you could where you see your armory. If we had multiple armories, we would see at least four options here. Obviously, we only have the one armory, so we only have one option. So once we've imprinted the armory, then you have to go into your generator. Basically, in the little menu, you have access to 4 armories. And to decide which armory you want to use, you have to come here. And normally you would see all your available build here. Again, we only have the one, but if we had multiple armories, that is where they would appear. And then we could select those armories and put them anywhere we like. Again, at this point, we only have the one, so it doesn't really matter. So if we go back to our journal, so we've completed lock and load, so let's complete that. And normally that would pretty much be it for setting up our first lair. Although we often have questions about the mainframe. Basically, whenever we have things like the henchmen, like we got a whole bunch of henchmen, like last Halloween we had some Green Lantern henchmen. And then we had some Star Sapphire henchmen during the Valentine seasonal. Whenever you get things like the henchmen, you have to use the lair system and you have to use your mainframe. So at this point, I don't really have what I need to be able to use the mainframe. I could replace the cells, but it doesn't really matter at this point. So if you want to have your sidekick, your backups, your orbital strikes, your supply drops, and your tactical mods, you will have to replace the cells in your generator. At this point, I don't have any of that, so there's no point in doing that. And also, you can give permission to people to enter your lair. You could give permission to single players, to specific players, or you could simply put a league name, and then it would give access to your lair to the entire league. And here, if we take a look at the generator, so again, you can see that is where you can select whatever armories you will have access to. Again, you can replace the cells from here if you want to, and there is a whole bunch of mods you can get to be able to increase the strength of your character a little bit. Sadly, again, in order to be able to get those mods, you have to be able to replace the cells, and also you have to have access to the lair system. So sadly, in order to be able to use the mainframe, you have to have access to the lair system. So you have to go to the marketplace. So you have to go to the marketplace, upgrades, and lair system. And from there, you can purchase a lair system. It's about $5, $4.50 if you are a subscriber. Although, if you are a subscriber, you don't have to purchase the lair system. It comes automatically with your subscription. So the lair system will be needed to be able to use items like the orbital strikes, the sidekicks, the henchmen, the supply drops, and all that good stuff. So in order to be able to purchase those items, you will have to have access to the lair system. So either you will have to purchase the lair system, or the lair system is included if you are a legendary player, if you are a member, if you are a subscriber. And also, sadly, you have to purchase the cells using source marks. So here you can see for the sidekick ones, it costs 5 source marks, then 20 source marks for sidekick 2. And then every 60 days, you have to pay an upkeep cost, which is 7 source marks. So here you can see backup 1, it costs 10 source marks. Backup 2, 25 source marks. And the boost, all the boosts cost 7 source marks and last for 60 days. And for the backup, if you are a hero character, it's called backup. If you are an evil villain, it is called the henchman. But it is the same thing in the end. So here we have the orbital strike. Again, if you want to buy orbital strike, it'll cost you 25 source marks. For the first boost, it'll cost you another 25 source marks. And again, 7 source marks for boost 2. The same for supply drop 1, 25 source marks, another 25 source marks for supply drop 2, and the boost, 7 source marks. And the same for the tactical mods, 25 source marks for tactical mods 1, the 25 source marks for tactical mods 2, and 7 source marks for the boost. And again, here you can see the cell. So again, you have the first cell, the second cell, and the third cell. So in order to be able to gain, let's say, access to Sidekick 1, you have to activate the first cell. Then in order to be able to gain access to Sidekick 2, you have to activate the second cell. And then the third cell will give you access to the boost. So to be able to use your mainframe, you pretty much have to replace the cells to your generator. And also it will affect your generator. Like if you replace the first cells, then it will give you access to those mods here. If you replace the second cell, then it will give you access to those mods here. And once you replace the third cell, then it will give you access to everything. It's a bit convoluted, so I hope this made some sort of sense. And if we take a quick look at the amenities, so we have a sorter cooler vendor that you can get. Here there's this little amenity that will give you, your sidekicks, your orbital strike, your white mods, once you have access to them. You have the teleporter. At first, the teleporter only gives you access to Watchtower, but once you add a few teleporter mods to your generator, you'll have access to more places. And again, for the teleporter, you have no choice. You have to buy it from the marketplace, or you have to buy it from the loyalty vendor using loyalty points. So here we have the crafting station that allows us to do some crafting in our lair. There's crafting station in the Watchtower and in the Hall of Doom, so you don't really need the crafting station, but it is convenient to have it in your lair. And there's also the portable work station that you can have. That is pretty much the same thing. It's something you can carry around with you anywhere. And it gives you a nice little workstation that does the very same thing, and you can carry it with you anywhere. So here we have our bank, where we have our storage space, and also we have our shared bank that allows us to be able to trade items between characters. So I could put items in the shared bank, then log in with a different character, and pick up those items using that character. The broker, if you've been watching my video for some time, you've seen me use the broker 1,000 times. And here you can see the Violet Lantern reward box. So for, let's say, the Henchman uplink device Violet Lanterns, you would have to activate the Lair system, and you would have to purchase the Henchman or the backups from the Lair system in order to be able to use those Violet Lanterns. For the mail, that should be self-evident, and we've had some mail for quite some time, so Oracle is sending us a nice little ring. Let us accept. And again, if you saw my previous videos, you should know that once you reach level 5, you'll get Robin by mail if you play a hero character. If you play an evil villain, you will get Harley Quinn by mail. And I don't know if they gave that to everyone or if you had to log in way back when, but at some point they gave us a Batman Legend character for the 75th anniversary of Batman. So if you've been playing for a while, you should be able to redeem that. If you are a new player, I don't know if you have access to that. And for the sparring target, that should be self-evident. If you need to test out your abilities or your powers, you can do that against the target. Here we have the respec station. So basically, for 500 bucks, we can reset all skill points. So let's say you're not very happy about how you've assigned the skill points to your character. You can come here, use this little machine. It will reset all your skill points, and then you will be able to assign them differently. And last but not least, if you want to be able to do a whole bunch of crafting, a crafting vendor would be a good idea. This is where you can purchase a whole bunch of crafting components you need to be able to craft various items. You don't have to purchase the R&D vendor. There is R&D vendors in the Watchtower or in the Hall of Doom, but it is convenient to have that in your lair. If you want to do some crafting in your lair and it turns out you need some components, you don't want to have to go back to the Watchtower or the Hall of Doom in order to be able to do that. So you could do that. You could do everything straight from your lair if you want to. And we got a new ring from our friend Oracle, so let us imprint the armory again so that we can imprint the ring into it. And we've even imprinted our crafting station. So we could decide to make a whole bunch of changes to our Nightwing character. We could change the look, we could change the skill points, we could change even the weapon he uses. And let's say we don't like those changes. We just need our armory, and it pretty much brings us back to how we used to be. Again, in order to be able to use it fully, you would need 2 armories. But you have to purchase armories for your characters, and you have to purchase every single armories. And sadly, if you purchase, let's say I was to purchase 5 armories with our friend Nightwing here, I could not redeem those armories with other characters. For other characters, I would have to purchase additional armories if I want them to have armories as well. I hope this makes sense. Again, it's a bit convoluted, but that's how it works. So next time we have a few options. Next time we'll probably play the Vault Ambush and the Welcome to the Watchtower mission. If you have any questions, feel free to ask so in the comment section down below, and I'll see what I can do about answering your questions. I have roughly 2,000 videos about this Universe Online at this point, so if I don't answer your question right away, just search in my videos. Odds are I already made a video that answers your question. Or click one of the videos that you see on your screen right now. Bye-bye.